Dr. Ben Carson is my brother. He's your uncle. He's your grandfather. He is one of us in the black community, with someone who's literally brilliant, who pulled himself up from his bootstraps. So let's just acknowledge that he's a black man that has pulled himself up, that is very, very smart. The difference is that, guess what? He's a black Republican. And so therefore, when we start whispering it, then all of a sudden the new car smell or the veneer kind of goes off a little bit. And so then he sees in the eyes of the African American community, I'm very proud of him. You know, this brother does a very good job, but you know, he's a Republican. So therefore, he's not one of us. But he's kind of like an Alan Keyes, but he's kind of like a Bill Cosby, but he's kind of like a Barack Obama. But the fact of the matter is that he's a Republican, therefore he's discredited, and that's a shame. That's a shame in the black community, and it's also a shame across this country.
So this is very interesting to me, because I think it's a thing we often hear from black Republicans, is that sense of somehow being kind of cast out of the race, as being racially inauthentic in some way. But I actually would want to go all the way back to the first claim, which is, let's just go ahead and say he's a brilliant guy who pulled himself up by his own bootstraps. And the main thing I want to say is, I will totally give you that he is brilliant. There is no question about that. But I don't know whether or not he pulled himself up by his own bootstraps. My suggestion would be actually that probably isn't the full story.
Well, wait, hold on. How can you say that when, based on his life story, single mom in Detroit, his mom worked 3 jobs apparently?
Sure.
How can you not say that?
Because I think that hard work is a necessary but insufficient condition for success, which is simply to say, must we work hard? Absolutely. But does hard work necessarily lead to success?
No.
No. And so I always want to think about what the other.
But that's his story, though.
Yes.
But that's his story.
I think there are 2 issues here. One is, do we admire what Ben Carson made of his life? You bet we do. This is an amazing story. It's a great thing. And I think it's a deep debate in our country's history about, is individual effort all by itself always enough? I mean, my feeling is not a single one of us is self-made, because there's always somebody. First of all, there's a mom or a dad. There is somebody in the neighborhood. There's a coach. There's a teacher. And then often there's a scholarship. I got to go to college partly on scholarship and Social Security.
I'd go even further. I'd go even further, because I think that even still leaves us within the realm of the kind of like civic action that still, I think, fits very neatly within a small government worldview. My bet is that there's also almost always a public school, a health plan. Like, in fact, yes, it's both that we have the people around us, but there's almost always public policies too.
Right, exactly. Yeah. There are policies that get us ahead, and that's where I differ with you. This isn't just about a black man being cast out because he's a Republican. This is a black man who is pushing policies, not recognizing structural racism, not recognizing all of the things that add to making lives harder for black people in America. So it's not just about the Republican. You know, feel-good story. Yes, we all read about it. We do hold him up like, oh my God, Ben Carson, he's brilliant. He's brilliant when it comes to medical science, but I will tell you that when I have heard him talk about policy, I wouldn't say he's brilliant on it.